You're my lover.
Undercover. You're my sacred passion and I have no other.
Hi, I'm the drag version of Newpois.
No,
No.
you also can't say Newpois. It's nil.
Nil.
N-I-L.
Nilpois.
Nil.
Hi, I'm the drag version of Nilpois. Alicia tried.
Voila, it's Van Dyke.
And hello, Yola! It's me, Rob, and it's time to take on the Eurovision 2021 final, and we are 2.5 queens.
Hi, thanks for joining us again for 2.5 Queens, the show where we talk about Eurovision for the last time.
On today's show, we'll be talking about the grand finale of Eurovision 2021 at Rotterdam, and boy, do we have a lot to unpack.
An insane amount. It was 4 hours of non-stop goopery and gaggery. 26 amazing performances, shocks from the jury results, the televote results.
Yeah.
The scandals, the people who underperformed, the people who did better than we expected.
Shocks.
Yeah.
Surprises.
We're going to be unpacking it all in the best way we know how.
Yes, yeah.
So we're going to be splitting things up into categories to begin with in order to discuss our favourites from the likes of staging and looks and vocals, so we can try and unpack as many countries as possible without being boring. So, as we did with the semi-finals, we're going to go through each and speak about our top 3 from the final.
Yes.
So, starting with our number 3s, who would be your third favourite from Eurovision 2021?
So my third favourite from Eurovision 2021 was Iceland. I really enjoyed their performance. I know that obviously it was like the same performance we've seen for a couple of times just because it was their pre-recorded one due to the fact that one of them did test positive for Miss Coronavirus. But I still really enjoyed it. I love the song and I love their energy, and I actually really enjoyed them in their sort of green room isolation.
Yeah,
there
the
was
little
some,
iPads and
yeah,
so
the little
cute.
iPads. There was some pansexual flags up in there, so it was fantastic
We
to
noticed.
see.
Again, I'm not going to make this my 3 favourite songs. I'm going to go for ones that had me gooped and gagged on the night.
Yes.
So, third favourite, I am going to go for the winners, I think. Italy, Maneskin, Zittia Broni. It just stood out so much on the night. Even though Finland had brought rock about 8 songs before, I think they're totally different songs, really. You could categorise them both from being a similar genre, but they brought very different energies. And something about Maneskin's performance just felt like we were at a gig of theirs.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were being brought into a Eurovision performance where the staging was sort of like camera angles from all of that. I don't know, it all just felt like this is what you would do if you saw them at the O2 Arena.
Yeah.
You know, it was just so professional, and which just makes sense, and it just made for a Eurovision song that we all looked at in the room at our individual parties and we were like, this could win.
Yes.
Period.
So my third favourite was Bulgaria.
Oh, interesting.
Growing up is getting old. The sand with the passing of time and the illusion with the rock and the water. Like, I didn't know if the rock was real at first when we came into the performance because we went in overhead.
Yes.
So I thought, is it just part of the floor? Is she actually on a big prop? And she was. And it was very simple, but it was very personal with a photo of her dad and stuff. But yeah, it was just, there wasn't a lot going on, but what was going on was really sweet. And with the song, it just felt like the right sort of vibe.
Absolutely.
So moving on to second favourites, so silver medals, our 10 points for the night. Who would yours go to?
My 10 points go to Switzerland, to Mr. Jean Stiers and his very flamboyant shirt combo.
Oh god, yeah, that's trousers. Come on, gun fingers.
And the gun finger dance and stuff like that. I think it was very different from what I originally saw, but I still just love the song. I still got goosebumps. I thought I saw a little bit more personality from him when he was performing it live.
Definitely. A lot more of him came across than in the video.
Yes, and I think even a lot more in the final than in the semi-final. I think it really hit those vocals, and I just really liked it. I just think it was just a really good song.
My silver medal will be possibly, I don't know if anyone else would agree, but my hype anthem of the entire year, Mama Mama Harry. I've just loved this for a while. I've been such a
Yes.
Fendi stan, a Mata Hari stan, and you two have never fully been on board.
But
the final and the semi-final changed my mind.
it did.
I'm
The
not-
staging, the hair, just the hairography, just everything about Mata Hari in the actual final performance did kind of get me on the Mata Hari bus.
I'm not willing to jump off the Mata Hari train. I just love this song. The energy was there. It just felt towards the end of the show like a real pop banger. But it stood out for me, regardless of how it did. This for me is a performance I'll be going back to for
Fendi
the next 12 months.
Stunning.
Stunning.
Oh, so stunning.
My silver medal would actually go to Miss Elena from Cyprus.
Yes.
I love that staging, the red and the mirror effect. I don't know why, it was again very simple but effective because it didn't feel like there were any gimmicks in the staging,
Okay.
Yeah.
which I appreciate because it was a straight up solid pop performance. She gave the dance, she gave the vocals. I think she sounded really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, when the El Diablo sign is real and it's on fire,
Yes.
it's just there was something building constantly. I don't know, it just felt like a pop girl performance, and that's something that I really I vibe with that.
I mean, you know it's one of my songs of the year, if not my favourite song of the year. The only reason I haven't put it top 3 is because if I'm thinking about how I felt on the night, it did kind of get lost a bit because it was first on.
It was quite early.
Yeah.
wasn't
I
it?
felt drawn into the hype of other songs more throughout the 26 songs, but Elena killed it. They were probably the best vocals I've heard from her so far as well.
Yeah, and there was a lot of questioning about her vocals before the competition.
There was, yeah.
And I had this feeling that she would just blow people away, and she blew me away.
Now the big one. You get 12 points from our juries. The Alicia Tried jury says
Yes.
the 12 points are going to...
So, the country of Alicia Tried here calling, hello Europe. My 12 points, 2 points, go to Malta!
Oh.
Yes, Miss
I saw that
Jimakas. I really did invest in Malta's song towards the end. I just don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I was just like,
But wait,
you know...
are we talking staging, right?
we're talking just about our overall...
Okay.
Favourites,
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I agree. It wasn't the most imaginative, amazing staging of the night, but it's one of those songs now that I can still remember, and it's one of those songs that post Eurovision I'll still play.
So out of those 26, that was the one you enjoyed the most of the
Yes,
night, the performance you enjoyed of the night.
Then I'm definitely not gagging because it was amazing.
And so my 12 points, I didn't even put in the top 3 of the semi, and someone commented underneath saying, I can't believe none of you put Ukraine in the top 3 of your semi-final. And to be honest, neither can I, because I turned our TV up to volume 95 of 100 when this came on, and the entire place lost it. I was rooting for Shum to win by the end. As much as I was so happy that Italy did, as I said, third favourite, I really would have loved a shock Ukraine win, because on the night, oh my god, it was just electric. The sprinkling of...
yeah.
I don't even know what it is.
The stage, darkness.
Sprinkling into
The
like,
ring
the
lights.
drums, the ring light. It was so creative, and the atmosphere and the build-up, the tension, everything about it was perfect. I'm actually talking about it. A Eurovision performance for the ages. Ukraine never disappoint, ever. 12 points to Ukraine.
I mean, you can probably guess where mine's going. Italy.
Of course.
There we go.
Yeah.
Purely, it was just dripping with charisma. It was just watching 4 completely confident people on stage. They knew what they were doing. They knew that they were gonna slay it no matter what. Watching them do the curtsy on the stage and the death drop at the end, and how they interacted with each other as well. It just made me feel really excited to be watching it. You can do all the extravagant staging you want. You can have the biggest prop in Eurovision history, like Spain did, which was again very impressive. But that connection for me is what really made it stand out.
And that's what made it win, undoubtedly. And Damiano.
Period. Need I say more?
I'm available on Thursday I'm available.
Or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you know.
So please call me on Thursday when I'm available on Thursday if you're available on Thursday.
And now we'll hold your trophy.
I'll just hold your dick while Rob's doing that.
I was trying to be...
Anyway.
I'm here trying to give you euphemism, and you're just like,
I'll just grab your dick.
I'll snap your penis.
Have you seen him in a press conference with like his leg
His
up in
little
the air
leg,
with
yeah,
a
and then he
stiletto?
goes like,
Yes.
We have no choice but to stand. All members, for the record, we just.
the guy, the drummer with the long hair, who
And
was at
the
the
kiss,
end.
the kiss. You saw the
Yes,
kiss.
yes. Just everything about that performance.
We love the
Just-
whole band.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, category is biggest grower. And
Oh,
so this is
Grower, not a shower.
period.
Thanks for that.
Period. So this is of the 26 songs that are in the final. So we listened to these songs about a month ago now, in part 1 and part 2. Which of these songs that are in the final is the biggest of the grower for you by the time it hit the final of Eurovision on Saturday?
Mama Tahari.
Yay! Oh my god, that makes me genuinely so happy.
I had no time for it when we went through the initial videos.
We've
I
been
just
new.
thought, this is just another song. In fact, I've got two,
Okay, well.
Get into it.
but they're basically linked anyway because it's Norway and Azerbaijan.
Oh, okay. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
The Tix and Effendi love
Oh,
story.
Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, they both grew on me very much. But Matahari's kind of takes it for the winner because I I thought Norway was alright when we first listened to it, whereas this I just didn't like it at all. And now I think what with Effendi's staging, the way she put on that show, she sounded amazing. Her stage presence massive. The whole thing of the circle when they came together in that.
Oh my god, that whole part.
Oh.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, and then the at the end, yeah. Really enjoyed Effendi's performance, and it really turned me around to the song in the semi, and the final was just as good, if not better. So that was my grower.
For my grower, it would have to be Shum, Ukraine.
We loved that though when we first
We
heard it.
loved it, but I think I was like, oh, okay, I can see it's a bit like a weirded electronic kind of folk sound.
Yeah.
Okay, cute. When it came on that stage and the arm with the outfits and the ring lights, I was invested.
Orville.
When Orville the Duck was here, ready, present in the
It's
ring.
like Ireland sending that turkey.
But I just really loved it. I just really, really I mean, you said it yourself, the whole place was alight here.
And I imagine in the arena, the crowd were going insane for sure.
Isn't this the one that Graham said, I didn't expect that to be so...
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Honestly, I did.
You thought it was going to be that.
And
Oh my
Italy-
god, we all knew, even when we sat here the first time and just that vroom, 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 and it's building up, we were holding one another.
Yeah.
We were
Like,
nice.
just imagine that live, that sort of build up would be like, oh my god, it's coming! I also have two, and I'm finding it hard to pick
Give us them.
which one. The main one, I would say, for me, is probably Serbia. Hurricane.
You love that,
The
though.
local. I did not love that. In the first video, I gave it a 6.5,
Okay.
and we both sat here and said, not so much you, but we both said we didn't think it would qualify, because we weren't sure about it on the studio version. It just did sound quite a lot of just constant volume,
Yeah.
but for some reason their performance gave it levels. The dance routine, the energy of the girls, and the
Yeah.
fact that they only had those three on stage, but it really it sort of brought the whole song to life for me. I don't think the video necessarily did the song justice, but
No,
they
really.
gave the song so much energy live,
Yeah.
and it became probably, this would be in like my top 5 or 6 of the final if we were listing more of those.
Yeah.
My other one, probably less so because I already began loving this about a week after the videos, but Russian Woman would be my other one.
Oh, Russian
The way that
Woman.
we were really confused when we first heard that song. We were
Now
like,
we know.
we were a bit like, I can't work out if I like this or not, but absolutely loved it by the time
The
it got on stage.
message,
The message,
The
Denise
Dalek,
herself.
I'm
Yeah.
here for it. The dress and
Not the
just-
Dalek.
The Dalek dress and her coming out of her Dalek dress. I was like,
No,
Very
I
different.
was really, I probably agree with you there as well.
Yeah.
Like, obviously can't have 17 growers or whatever. But yeah, I wasn't really responding well to Russian Woman at the beginning. Yeah, when I saw that, but I read more about Maneskin and what she wanted to go to Eurovision to do,
and the message.
the message behind the song. It plus the performance as well. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. She's just having a party on the stage,
I think she's
Yeah.
one of the best artists of the year.
big time.
Okay, so on to our next category now, and category is Best Staging. So this is obviously who we thought on the night had the best concepts, best staging, We're gonna start with Miss B down there.
Tell 'em, B.
You've been a very bad girl, Gaga. United Kingdom.
Just kidding! I was like, we were both like, literally Lisa Simpson meme.
Start. So best staging for me, I'm going to go between two, and it's again Tix, Norway,
Yes.
and actually Belgium, the wrong place.
Oh.
Because right, I'll give you my reasons. I love Belgium's because it really put the focus on the singer and the kind of, I don't know, I just felt it really suited the song well. It was pared back, which, you know, not everything always has to be a party right in your face, and I think Belgium showed that really well.
Yeah.
It used elements of, like the backdrop with her face, the close-up.
Yeah.
I liked it. And then I liked it for Tix as well, because Tix was sort of, you know, the chains around the four sort of, not devils, but,
Count devils, I think.
well, hooded figures.
Yes.
Let's call them.
Mm-hmm.
Hooded figures. Judy Jetson hooded figures. But no, I love the concept of Tix being in the middle and this, you know, chain that you can't break out of, and
Yeah.
it's, you know, stuck in a maze, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say.
Whatever the concept is.
I just really responded well to those two.
Are we allowed to repeat countries?
Of course,
Because
yeah.
I'm
of
finding
course.
it very hard not to just say Ukraine again.
Yeah.
Because really, I've already explained it.
They made it very similar to the video as well.
And there were so many elements
Yes.
to it. It didn't just focus on the singer. It gave every person on that stage had a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Just has to be the one. I struggle to think of any staging that I found as creative as this one. There's nothing else like that on stage. Lots of purples and pinks in other people's performances
Yeah.
and 80s vibes.
Yes.
This gave me some like the neon, like the bright green of the jacket, but then there was some like greys and darkness. So there was a lot
Yes.
of real unique colour palette as well to me. But I loved how simple France played it as well. So I would like to just throw that out there because
The shaking camera.
they
at the
did
end.
Yes.
very little with the staging, and that's why I loved it.
Yeah.
That actually moves on to mine, which
one
was
is it?
France.
Voila!
Yes. Voila.
Voila.
Yes, I do declare though, the staging this year was a little samey. I mean, I don't know if there is a silver fabric shortage in Amsterdam at the moment, because it seemed like every bitch and their dog had a silver dress.
Well, I don't know about Amsterdam because the competition was in Rotterdam.
Let me try that again.
No.
We're not having that again, man. You've said it now.
France for me. Are you well?
Mm-hmm.
France for me, again, was like you said, was the simplicity of it. Like, it wasn't the craziest staging, but just the camera work and just the way that it just felt like the main focus was on Barbara and just what, like, just everything. Oh,
Very intimate. What did you think about Barbara's clothing?
Oh my god, I loved that as
I
well.
was obsessed.
She looked like she was going to Slug and Lettuce.
No,
Good.
but
Well,
it was
yeah, but
it was understated, but it
Yeah.
was sleek and just sort of like nothing about that performance needed to be. I thought it was exquisite. The fact that they didn't overdress her, they didn't overstage her.
Yeah.
Everything was like refined and
It did feel very
simple, but with
Yeah.
little things thrown in to make you remember. I thought it was
you weren't distracted.
Exquisite.
Your
Yes.
focus was on the song.
and her face.
And her face in the song, and obviously, you know, as we can see soon, the juries did eat that up.
True.
So
I just didn't like the top.
she did pick that
I
up.
could see you in that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. She's not a drag queen. She's a you know.
She's Barbara Pravi, a second place finisher in Eurovision 2021. That's who she is.
If Barbara wants to go
Correct.
into Eurovision in a bustier, then Barbara can walk around with a bustier.
Next category, it's going to be the country that we missed the most from the final. So, who's first, Rob, for you?
We want to show some love to the semi-finalists, basically, because it was such a strong year
Yes.
that even the songs that we missed out on were fantastic.
great, yeah.
And it's such a shame that a lot of Europe won't even know them. For me, it does have to be TikTok of Croatia, Albania.
Yes.
It wouldn't even necessarily be in my top 10 of the year. I just thought that the staging for it was fantastic, and some people qualified for less.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't mean that really.
You better drag them girls.
I am not going to drag any girls, and I'm not mentioning any names. But I thought that Albina's vocals were fantastic, her stage presence was fantastic. I
Yeah.
loved the outfit. There's not really much I could fault about it, and I think it's a shame that that wasn't able to go to the final because there was nothing. If someone said, "How would you improve it?"
Would
I don't
you?
really know what
Yeah.
I don't really know what I could
I mean,
suggest.
what would you
Yeah.
put in? Another 5 kilograms of hair? She would have 10 on.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know if and who has seen the semi-results. We found out she came 9th with the televote
Yeah.
and 10th with the jury. So she was in both people's top 10. So it just feels very unlucky that the numbers
points
just
off. Yeah.
so close and would have been a great addition to the final for me.
For me, I am going to say the ones that I missed the most was Ireland. I think I really did like that song, but they really did try and set Leslie up with that staging. At first, it was quite confusing. We had some technical difficulties on the semi-final with the staging, and I think it just threw everything out. It just wasn't Leslie's night. That could have been a really standout, unique performance in the final, the way that the staging was done. And I think it would have been a memorable one, but unfortunately, it wasn't your time. You needed a map to the final, and you got lost.
Last in the semi-final as well. Last.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's not right.
So mine was Denmark.
Yeah.
Shocker.
We didn't know that I was going to say that. I just fell in love with them both. It was so cute. The staging was fine. It didn't change from the national final, which I didn't have a problem with because it was cute. They were the leaders of the whole 80s thing, and they didn't even get to go to the final. Where everyone else did it.
No.
Very, very harsh.
Yes.
They brought the pink and the blue, the colour palettes, the popping colours. They brought a really cute song. They sang in Danish, which a lot of people really responded to because it doesn't happen very often, I don't think.
Yeah.
Very hardly ever sing.
And I just think that they were a bit robbed, to be very honest with you.
Yes.
But another 11th placer, another song that was really close to
Almost
making it,
there.
and the televoters wanted it. So a big shame. 3 songs there that I would have been happy to see in the final.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
These juries this year need to get on top of it.
I know.
Well, we're going to get
Right.
further onto that when
Brutal.
we talk about these results because we don't necessarily agree with all of this, but hey, they're the ones we wanted to see. Okay, our final category is most slept on. So by that we mean the song that didn't do great in the final, but we really thought deserved better, and that's going to lead us into talking about the results.
Yes.
Which song that sort of underperformed in the final did you think really deserved more love?
Adrenalina!
I mean, period.
Duh.
Yes.
Duh. I mean, apart from Alicia's wig being slept on,
Yes. Daily.
Miss San Marino and Flo Rida were slept on. I know that bringing Flo Rida on was a bit of a stunt.
An amazing one.
It doesn't necessarily make the song any better, but the song itself was good. It was
It
so
was a really
calm.
good song.
Sandy was giving us so much energy. She really put a lot into the performance. I really appreciate that. There were a lot of songs that didn't place as high as people thought they would this year.
Yes.
But that one is one of the ones that stood out to me. It came 5th from bottom. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22nd.
So I just didn't get it, and I think that slept on is one word for it, or two.
It was hard this year, and we're going to go on to that more when we talk about the results, but I guess it's such a strong year that some big ones had to fall. I mean, the one I'm going to pick, I could pick, there's many that underperform that I love, like the likes of Mata Hari and something like that I do love. But if we're talking about really slept on, I think I'm going to say Netherlands, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to, delve too much into the drama of the 0 point situation, which was the gag. But of all the ones who didn't deserve it, it was birth of a new age.
Yeah.
We all responded really well to this when we heard it. It was so unique, so true to his culture and his heritage. Nothing sounded like it, and I thought it was a real revelation of an entry, and I'm really disappointed that this wasn't lapped up more, if not by the televotes, by the juries as well. I thought they would really respect that this was something really out of the box.
Yeah.
And I feel really disappointed. I don't want this to discourage countries from feeling like they can send something like this. So
exactly.
It was a really great entry, so it was great.
I am going to tell you that you need to grab a pillow for Elena because they're sleeping on her for Cyprus. Because El Diablo on paper and when we first listened to it sounds like it's one of those songs that are going to be like
everyone
top
had
5.
it.
Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was like, this is the song. This is the party song. We had a lot of pop bangers this Eurovision. And I think out of all the pop bangers, no disrespect to Miss Mata Hari either, El Diablo is probably the best of the best. I don't know if that's due to because it obviously was first on.
I think it didn't help.
You know, and I don't know if the hype started to die, you know, once we'd obviously heard it. I mean, for me personally, obviously, it wasn't in my top 3 because I'd probably listened to that months ago.
I do think it's hard to open the show. I think it's
Big
a really, it's a great one, and I'm sure everyone, or most people, saw that song and were like, well, this is a fun one to open. But when you get to the end, there was a run towards the end that was like, Iceland, France, Azerbaijan, Lithuania.
Yeah.
Like the end was so strong. It was like bam, 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 constant. But I can just imagine those first like 3 or 4 songs must have just got lost in people's brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even Destiny didn't do as well as...
No, that was, I mean, she was
everyone
sixth.
expected,
That is
yeah.
very true. So it was hard for those early starters.
Hugely.
So. Right, so it's time for us to head to the results now, which had us on the edge of our seats. Can we discuss Martin Estadell?
Sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sexier than you don't understand, sorry.
Well, I mean, he was an old man, wasn't he?
I mean, not old.
I mean, you could still get it up.
So let's move on, first of all, to the jury segment. So our top 5 with the jury, we had Iceland in 5th, Italy in 4th, Malta 3rd, France 2nd, and To l'Univers of Switzerland
Jean's
was the jury's winner. What were the biggest like shocks from the juries voting for you?
That, I think, Switzerland was the
Switzerland
shock.
winning.
Yeah, I think, but then at the same time, I'm starting to gauge what like the jury go for, like what you've mentioned to me before.
Vocals.
They really go for vocals and just the stage presence, and the top 5 that you named probably had the best vocals of the night. So I'm not like overly surprised that France and Malta and Switzerland did really well, but obviously Switzerland coming top was kind of like, oh, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
I do think there is quite a clear disparity, almost between what the public love and the jury love.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's clear that I don't know what the juries are told to rank on, but it does feel like they are just told to go for like the best vocals and the most, almost like the most pleasant songs. Bar Italy, which I wouldn't describe as like pleasant. It's quite out there. I'm impressed that Italy did as well as they did. For me, it's a shame that like sort of songs like the Ukraine that I've mentioned and Finland, which are sort of left in like 10th and 12th.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to see the jury reflect difference a lot more. Sort of real bold choices taken.
You know, they, I think in terms of music and how maybe they think music should be and what they think people want to hear. And I'm not really interested in what you think music should be. I'm interested in what you personally like.
Yes. What songs do you like?
I'm interested in what's catching your ear and the overall package of it. And it doesn't feel like they're voting on the overall package. I don't understand why they put on jury performances if the jury aren't necessarily going on the whole package and maybe just the song.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why put on the performance of it? Just listen to it in the headphones.
Amanda Holden announcing our jury points was the most embarrassing thing to happen to the UK.
Oh.
We do not claim Amanda Holden.
We never have.
In any way,
Done.
shape or form.
No.
We are so sorry, Europe.
Yes.
By the way, that I'm sure she does know the languages. She was just trying to be funny. We're not all as unfunny.
I don't think she does.
Yes.
I think she's probably an ignorant cow.
This is the woman who did shag her way to the top.
Yes, exactly. So she should have shagged her way out that door.
You should have shagged her way to a language class.
We've got to got Nigella Lawson back in here.
Oh, period.
Is that the dislikes from the Amanda Holden fan club on the way to our...
Oh, but that would only be one.
the
so it's fine.
Amanda Holden fan club's 3 people.
I was surprised by how much the juries enjoyed Moldova, interestingly enough, because they voted down quite a lot of the female pop entries. I can see that Azerbaijan came about 19th.
Yes.
Moldova beat the likes of Cyprus and Azerbaijan.
Israel?
Serbia.
Okay.
No, Israel did quite well with the juries, actually.
Yeah, it's a televote that left.
But, you know, that B6 was always going to be a jury pleaser.
Of course.
But yes, Miss Moldova and her...
Well,
You're right. Oh, I thought you were going to get up and do something then. Sweet.
to be fair, Natalia did give us some notes in tune this time.
Some notes, a variation,
There were notes.
an assortment,
There was notes.
a pick and mix.
Yeah. And maybe the juries were like, I like this note and I like that note. So here we go.
Or maybe they were paid. Who knows?
I am. right, we were big fans of Sugar, or how camp Natalia Selva.
Adore.
We are.
Adore.
We love Natalia. She's very, cute, very funny, great performer. She's clearly got the energy, whatever. But we need to talk about the riggery. I'm not making any accusations. I don't want to, I don't want to
The
get.
microphone's
And the microphone will be dropped if it's given to Natalia.
I don't want any heads of state or Kokorov coming after me. But I don't get it. I don't get it.
Interesting.
Like the performance itself, from the beginning, we all knew that we've said it. It was nothing like what we expected. Nothing like what Moldova usually put on, because they usually give us a show.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like were people seeing what no one else was seeing? I don't know. Was it money? Was it? I don't know.
We don't know.
We'll let you decide.
Yeah.
And let us take that through to the televoting, which I have to say,
Shook the table.
all 26 performers were fantastic, but the highlight of the whole night was
Honestly.
the televoting, which, oh my god, every year, I don't even know how it's possible, but every year it just seems to get more and more tense. And it was kicked off in the craziest of styles. We have to talk about
James.
you get a 0 points,
Yeah.
you get 0 points, you get 0 points, you get 0 points.
0 points.
0 points.
Another 0 points.
0 points.
People don't like the Big Five, do they?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think that people at home care very much for automatic qualifying countries
Well, how do you explain the top two?
Because they put a good song in.
because they were worth voting for.
Yeah.
Well, there we are.
But sometimes, like we said before...
You always find Germany, Spain, UK at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Because they probably wouldn't qualify if they were put into the semis.
See?
But yeah, I'm
That's
not suggesting I've got like a tinfoil hat on. I'm like, oh, no one likes the UK and Brexit. That's not what I'm saying. Because that's not true.
Absolutely
No,
not.
Get it out of your brain. It's
You
not true.
You will never hear that.
No.
I'm just saying. I don't think.
Actually, Ellen, that's not the truth.
I just don't think there should be any automatic qualifiers. There never used to be, because we might have someone, who's just not plucked out by a record label. Then we might have someone who's got a voice and something to say, and they want to take it seriously.
You know, there are girls, guys, there are people at home sitting hungry because they want to be on the Eurovision Song Contest.
Is it too much to ask, I said this to you, is it too much to ask for a UK act to be able to do some choreography, to have some stage presence? I would like to say the way that James Newman dealt with the 0 points was
Very classic.
amazing.
Absolutely.
I really
the whole
liked
stadium.
I really liked James
lit
Newman. I
alive.
thought he was a great representative for us, and he's still not slagging the contest up, and I really like him.
And
But-
Chantel tried to calm down the whole stadium. They said, no, ma'am.
No ma'am, because he was hyping them up, and he made it all the other contestants who got 0 feel so much better by proxy.
Yeah.
But I would like to say, for future, we have had a decade or more of these people who just don't have any stage presence.
A decade.
If they move more than a little bit from where they are, they just look a bit uncomfortable. In that long trench coat. I mean, we've sent some nice songs in the past, but it wouldn't be too much to ask for something that would just, someone who really felt like a seasoned performer.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
Let's
with us
do-
getting 0-0, it is a little bit of a wake-up call to everybody.
It's got to be
like,
a wake-up call.
Let's do something.
It is, yeah. Or Electro
Yeah.
Velvet, remember that?
Well, I'd rather not.
It is a crime to be forgettable in Eurovision. You'd rather be a bad song than a forgettable song.
You'd rather
Although
be...
Jendrik tried that, still didn't work.
Well, you said it. Those, they were the 0 points.
Yes.
So we moved on. Let's get sort of higher up. So one of the countries that did really well with the televote came forth was Finland. Was this a shock to you?
Yes.
Dark Side, Blind Channel.
Yeah, I did think, Finland always bring that kind of rocky, strange,
It's kind of their famous thing.
Yes,
I wouldn't say they do it all the time, but it's definitely something you associate with Finland.
yeah, but clearly I think people woke up. So yeah, Germany's song was like, do, 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 and then all of a sudden it went, like, straight into, like, it got everybody up, and everybody was like that, and that's the one you remember, because you're like, oh my god, yes, that song.
In fact, we'd had a run of like Spain, Moldova, Germany. There was a few bits towards that middle ground.
Where it was getting a bit forgettable.
And then it was like, put your middle finger up, and it was like, whoa! It was always going to be one that was popular more with the public.
Exactly, because
Than
it
yeah.
was giving us some, you know, pop traits, but it
Yeah.
was just packaged really cool. The song itself, it was rock, but it was still very melodic. I agree with that doing very well.
Ukraine did extremely well as well. They got 267 points,
Yes,
which in
they
some years would almost be
did.
enough to win.
When that yeeted them up the leaderboard, I was like, oh, it's on now.
Oh, it's on. I
It's
was
on.
praying that they could somehow hold on to even like top 3. I had a
Yes.
bet on and I lost my bet.
Money was lost.
Yeah, that was the only one that you had to get in the top, wasn't it?
Top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just needed to be top 4. She was
Yeah.
5th.
But it wasn't until we got to Ukraine that I was surprised that I was like, whoa, that's a lot of points.
Mhm.
Mama, let's get on with it now, because
Well-
this is...
Well, that was it, because once we were hitting the zeros, and even then, I think, what was it, Norway got 60?
And then we had like Belgium 3 points, San
3,
Marino
yeah.
about 13.
30 points. So I was like, there are gonna be some big numbers
Oh, yes.
pulling out very soon. So obviously Ukraine getting one of those felt deserved, and it felt like it was, like you said, it was the public's vote. Like it felt like that would be a song that would resonate well with Europe as the public.
But it was Italy who won by quite a landslide in the end. I think
Yes.
what would it be, about 50,
I
about
think it was
50 more
60
points,
points, yeah.
more than Ukraine. It was just really quite a comfortable televote winner. I was really impressed with how pretty much every country in Europe voted for them, which is amazing for this kind of genre.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, just, you know, good taste is universal and bad taste is Alicia tries.
But I thought it was interesting that this sort of rock song really took over so much, because the only rock song I can think of winning is Hard Rock Hallelujah,
Yeah.
and then you can attach the gimmicks of Lordi's outfits. I wouldn't say there
Yeah.
was really many gimmicks toward Maneskin. It felt really genuinely glam rock, and it was just the talents of them and their song which
Yeah.
carried them.
And I think that was the appeal. It just was such, just like you said, just the way they were just oozing charisma. You know, they had all of it. They had the charisma, you had the uniqueness, they had the nerve, and they had the talent.
They certainly had the nerve to come out on stage looking like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll shag all 4 of them. God, I bloody love them.
I mean, just
Love it.
it feels correct.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
feels
Yeah, no
yeah.
complaints.
Were there any big shocks in the televoting for you?
Israel was one. I mean, not massively shocked, based on, you know, but I thought that people would move past the politics and realise that the song was great.
Yeah,
you know,
it was a good song.
it was in the news. You know, Aiden hit that F6.
B6.
You better be quiet. Yeah, I was really surprised about Israel. Surprised about San
Yeah.
Marino.
Mm.
Yeah,
San Marino was a big shock. I thought that Flo Rida would have really done something.
I'm guessing
13 points.
Florida mustn't be a big hit in Europe.
Honestly, I think that's the brutal thing about this voting, because the way that they do it from the bottom all the way up, so you could be, I don't know, like the jury could have put you right up in 5th place, and then the public could be like 3 points, and
Yeah.
you literally get dragged straight down.
Yeah.
It's like
But-
you get that kind of hope.
Did that happen to anybody? Oh, Israel.
Yeah, Israel got
Israel
like
did fantastic.
yeah. and
Portugal, they came 7th with the jury, and they just received 27 points.
Yes.
Bulgaria were, I want to say they were 6th with the jury.
Yes.
And they got about 30 points.
Why is it like you said? It's just it's so.
There's such a.
It
there's
was
such a-
so
yeah.
condensed. But as far as I'm aware, there were only 8 countries that got more than 100 points, which is really rare.
Yeah.
Which just indicates that most people's favourites in all countries were Italy, Ukraine, France,
Yeah.
Iceland, Switzerland, Finland. Like
Yeah.
they all had similar favourites, which means that the rest were just sort of fighting out for 4s, 3s, 2s, really small. A big shock for me was Destiny.
Oh,
Monster.
huge!
A hyped
Yeah.
winner. She came 14th, it turned out, in the end. 47
Wow.
points she got in the televote, which is just a potential winner.
It was a
doing that
shame,
poor.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I do
really
feel
gutted.
for Destiny, because I felt
Me
like
too.
Destiny had a lot of hype going in, you know, and completely smashed it with the semi-finals.
Can
Oh, yeah.
I say one that did shock me? Maybe not in a good way. Was Greece
Doing so well.
doing so well? I thought that Stefani was amazing. Sounded amazing. I just thought the gimmick was just exactly that. It wasn't one that I don't think it paid
Yes.
off. It's like I said, the song is great. The performance let it down, and I just think that there were songs and performances that maybe I'm not going to say deserved, because everyone deserved exactly what they got. It fell the way it fell, but I just felt that personally there were performances that came ahead of Greece for me.
I agree with that because
Yeah.
I think I would have put Greece in my top 5 songs of the year, but I don't think I would even put it in my top 10 performances of this final. I don't think the staging worked, and Stefania looked a bit distracted a lot of the time because there was so much that she had to do.
Yes.
But her vocals were fantastic. I wasn't sure about the whole green screen thing, and the green screen was really poor on the final night. I'm not sure if someone's smoke got in the way. Maybe James Newman's pyros that came shortly before it. I don't. Honestly, it really is a big well done to everyone because it's one of the strongest finals I can think of in memory.
And you could tell some of these people, I think, was it just over half the acts were returners from 2020. So they'd been waiting over 12 months, if not longer, to get back in and just to really kill.
They brought it. They really did.
Should I tell you one person who is glad about the Netherlands?
Go on.
The broadcasters.
No more hosting.
They don't want to host another one.
Oh,
Shall we talk about the hosting?
We
Fabulous.
shall.
Fabulous.
Let's go over
Stunning.
to Nikki's corner.
I want Nikki to host every Eurovision from now on.
Honestly, we love Nikki. In
you are
particular, Nikki.
Amazing.
Nikki in that final.
The outfit,
The dress, the trans flag adornments
on it as well.
face.
All of them were amazing. They were all just fantastic hosts. So
I really enjoyed Edcilia. I thought she was fantastic in everything she did, and thank God she got to stay around after being around Duncan in the first semi-final.
I was really impressed with Edcilia because I watched a kind of Road to Eurovision video and they interviewed all the hosts.
Yeah.
And she mentioned that she was really struggling with thinking in English. She was going to have to take English lessons, and exactly, she really kept it well with all the people that she spoke to in English. And I didn't know that when I watched the final. I only watched it after, and I was like, I would never have known that she didn't speak English to the level that she made us believe.
Everything just felt really professional, didn't it?
Yeah.
So huge props.
Well done to the Netherlands for
everyone
having
in
to put this, putting this
And
on.
they ran a tight ship with COVID.
They
Really,
did.
that must have been so difficult for them.
They could have had half the acts wiped out.
I mean, obviously it was a real casualty for Iceland to not be there, but the fact that it was kept to just one and being able to keep Duncan Lawrence's performance because he also tested positive, so wasn't there.
Yeah. They kept
it to a minimum. They kept it to a real minimum, and they must be breathing the biggest sigh of relief on Sunday morning to be like, we got through that. That's it. We got through it.
And I mean,
we still had all the backstage content.
Yeah. They're still under the time
Look Lab.
restrictions.
Oh my god, Look Lab. Nikki's Look Lab. We're obsessed. Can she just do that every
I want that
year?
YouTube series, just every year.
She doesn't have to come back and host the show every year, but Look Lab needs to stay.
Diabet.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Diabet.
Diabet.
We love Natalia.
My song is about
so
sugar.
much.
I love it.
People keep telling me that I'm going to get diabetes.
My God, you will have diabetes.
We also enjoyed the intervals as well. We got to see a bit of Mons, a bit of Helene, and Paparizou.
Everybody was on their roofs. Everybody went to the rooftops, was strapped in, ready to sing their vocals.
They had some, no offence, some pretty old people on cold rooftops wearing little to no clothing, legs out, arms exposed. They need to cover up.
And the Netherlands isn't that warm.
It's not a tropical climate there. They had Helena in a little silver dress. She got the memo clearly.
Yes. Yeah.
She was giving us choreography, OG choreography. I was very.
You are the one. Can we discuss? Is Heroes really a classic? Because they wheel Mons out every single year.
He was even doing the UK shows for a few years.
Is he cheap?
Must be.
He's in the UK, isn't he? That's where he resides now.
I love Mons for the record, and I will happily see Mons
We would
at any given time.
Yeah,
but he's wheeled out every single year.
He's starting to be the one that just every Eurovision Mons arrives, and it's almost coming as an expectation now. I even said to you before the final, I was like, Mons is gonna be a final, isn't he? And you were like, yes, and I was like, I think we peaked at Love, Love, Peace, Peace, and now I think we need Peace, 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 Peace for Mons.
But we don't want to lose sight of the main event. Massive congratulations, because our winners of Eurovision 2021 were Italy!
Yes! It worked this time.
Better this time.
I love that smell.
Oh my god, the smell.
I love it. I'd huff it.
I kind of like the smell.
I kinda like the smell.
But yes, well done to Italiano for the fantastic performance of them.
Well done to Demiano for looking like that.
I mean, all of it. We've been fans of it from that very first video where we listened to it. We were I mean, you two love that kind of music. I didn't even
Yes.
necessarily love that kind
But
of
even
music.
you've been playing it.
And I immediately liked it from first listen, and it grew and
She's
grew and grew.
infectious, yeah.
To
Yeah.
even for it to be in the top 3 performances for me is just a testament to how good they were.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I say we go to Italy next year.
All the cities in Italy at the moment are all coming out and
They
being
want
like,
it.
I want
They
to
want
host, I want to host, I want to host, because this is a moment, and this is
I think
why.
there's about 11 cities at the moment have applied for it.
Can I make a plea?
Yes.
EBU, BBC, we're here. We're
We
ready to
are.
go to Italy.
Yes.
Well,
Send
that's it.
us.
Can we be the correspondents? We'd do a fine job.
We do a great job. Not
Yeah.
just fine, we do a great job.
I
Look
think
at
we
us.
do a wonderful job.
Look at us. I'd even spend money on my drag if you want to do that for us.
We have loved Eurovision 2021 so much because, like, I adore Eurovision anyway. I am a huge fanatic, but
Yeah.
I feel like to be able to bring you two along
I'm invested
for the
now.
ride, and then the fans who have really sort of got excited about our videos, it just made
Yeah.
the whole thing such an event. So
Yeah.
It's been a very enjoyable ride, as Raphael would say.
exactly.
And yeah, thanks for doing all this.
I feel like I'm sporting some Italian justice today. I'm giving you like budget
Right.
Mahmood.
Very Gianni Versace.
Yeah.
Salsadana boots.
Yeah.
I am budget soldy. So that is it from us. That is it from Eurovision 2021.
Oh, what a
And
journey.
we've absolutely bloody loved it.
Yeah.
Bloody loved it. So if you've liked everything that we've given and shown from you, please hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and comment down below because we love engaging with you when you show us some love.
Be kind. But yes, thank you so much for joining us on our Eurovision journey. If you'd like to follow us on Instagram at 2.5 Queens, it will be linked down there at the bottom.
And follow our social medias. You'll see a lot of us more on there as well.
So we love you all so much. Thank you, Europe and beyond. We love you very much, and good night.
Good night, Europe.
Bonsoir, as always.
Oh, I was going to say bonsoir.
Too late.